you think that you're making something too short or too wide or whatever, or something's too long or too narrow, but when you go to measure it and actually look at the reality, you realize that no, it really is supposed to be that long. Your eyes will trick you and say, no, that can't be right, but it turns out that it is. Hello, welcome back. And I'm Cheryl. I'm here to update you on my experience with the Milan Art Institute, the Art Mastery Program. And this is week 12. Week 12 was all about foreshortening drawing and black on black, white on white, alla prima paintings. So we started out with, I started out with doing the alla prima paintings. So I'll show you those first. I did the white on white first. And this was what I chose to do. The woman holding the cat with the veil. And the tricky part was, I don't know if you can see in the light here, but getting her arm and hand to kind of show without it looking, without it looking like it just was underpainted or something. So I had to do it so that because it's under the veil. This was interesting because it was we needed to use only certain colors, just a few colors, and try and, of course, mix any of the dark or the black colors with what colors we had provided, not use actual black. And so this was really, really a great experience, a great learning experience. And I'm happy with it only because I feel like I got most of the proportions right, and then the color mixing, not sure about this up here, but I'm happy with kind of how the veil went, because that was a real challenge. Anyway, so that was the white on white, and this was all alla prima, so I did it all at once. And then the black on black, I chose to do this, I think this is a jaguar. And this one was, it wasn't necessarily more difficult. It's just I struggled with not only proportions, but also trying to use the limited colors. I kind of struggled with getting the texture of the fur and so on the way I wanted it, especially doing alla prima, because since I was doing it all at once, it's not like I could wait and then go back and do fine hair detail or something. But it still turned out okay. I'm not unhappy with it. I especially liked how this came out. I think the mouth came out pretty good. Looks like there's some depth there. So this was fun. And I'm sure I learned a lot from this that'll show up later. But yeah, I liked it. Okay, so then we worked on foreshortening. And the first thing I did was draw my hands. I can't see it very well. Let me stay down. Right on my hands. So we had to draw hands going away from us, and hands coming at us. I really like this too. This is something I just play with sometimes, although I should do more of it, because obviously this isn't really quality work there, but it's funny to find out how much your eye really does deceive you when you're doing this, because you think that you're making something too short or too wide or whatever, or something's too long or too narrow, but when you go to measure it and actually look at the reality, you realize that no, it really is supposed to be that long. Your eyes will trick you and say, no, that can't be right. But it turns out that it is. So that was that. And then the next one was this. And we were to do a foreshortened portrait or figure drawing, full figure drawing. So I found this and really liked the position she was in because I felt like that was going to be a super challenge for me. Plus all the hair details and so on. I really like this. And this hand gave me the most grief because there's no actual fingers really. It's kind of just the front of her hand, the top of her hand. So I had to try and shadow it in a way that you could tell that that's what it was. Anyway, I liked how this one came out and I really enjoyed it. So learned a lot from this. Okay, and then we did this one. This was an idea board. So basically what we had was we had images of 3 different images, a design of some sort, a figure, and then some other piece of architecture. And the assignment was to put them together in some kind of a arrangement. So anyway, that's how mine came out. And again, this was, I learned a lot. It was challenging, but I think the only thing that I really struggled a lot with was just getting this leg right. And I think in the shading, it's probably not quite right, but I didn't want to keep working on it for hours. So I called it a day and said it's done. But this was good. This was really good for my brain to think about proportions and how things come at you or fade into the distance. This was great. Okay, so that's it for that week. And I will catch you up on what's next. What's next? I think what's next is, it's portraits. Self-portraits, which ought to be very interesting. So I will catch you up on that as soon as that happens. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one.